Hello, hi everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Especially today we will discuss about the very simple intermediate first year chemistry syllabus, and especially in atomic structure, classification of elements and periodic in properties. The two units, very short answer questions and long answer questions in previous exams. What are the previous important questions and answer and short answers we will discuss in today about two units. You can think the first one, the intermediate first year, what are the syllabus like NCERT, or you can see the state syllabus board. The total is the 14 units or 14 chapters. Simply we will see here the some basics concept of chemistry and the structure of atoms and the classification of elements and periodicity in properties. Fourth one, chemical bonding and molecular structure. Fifth one, states of matter. Sixth one is unit is thermodynamic. Seventh one, equilibrium. Eighth one, redox reaction. Ninth one, hydrogen. 10th one, S block elements, P block elements. 12th one, organic chemistry, some basic principle and techniques, hydrocarbons and environmental chemistry. So these are the some intermediate first year chemistry syllabus in IPE and NCERT portions. And now we can see the especially in the atomic structure, what is the very long answer questions like essay type question. These three questions are very important, especially in atomic structure. Every exam they will repeated these long answer questions. You can see the first one question, what are the postulates of Bohr's model of hydrogen atom? Discuss the importance of this atom to explain the various series of line spectra of hydrogen atom. What the limitation of Bohr models of the atom? This is the first one question, is very important especially in atomic structure unit. And next one question is explain the difference between emission and absorption spectra. Next one, these three principles like Hund's rules, Aufbau principle and Pauli exclusion principles. These are the very important. And third one question is the quantum number. What is quantum number? And explain the significance of different quantum numbers. So these three questions are very important, especially in atomic structure. Now we can see the very short answers question, especially in atomic structure. The first question is explain the quantum number and their significance briefly. Second one question, what are the postulates of Bohr's model of hydrogen atom and limitation they are asking in what is the difference between emission and absorption spectrum. And third one question, important postulates of the Bohr's atomic model, explain is the using of hydrogen spectrum in neat diagram. That is the compulsory questions. And fourth one, the postulates boron model of using of hydrogen atoms and to write any two limitations of Bohr's model of an atom. And fifth one is what are the postulates of boron models of hydrogen atom, explain the various series lines of the hydrogen atom using Bohr's model. So these are the very short answers questions, especially in atomic structure, repeated questions in previous exams also. And now we can coming to that here, second one unit is the classification of elements and periodicity in properties. In this question, very long answer question, first one is the write on SI of SPD block elements, SPDF block elements. Second one question is what is periodicity, explain how these properties vary from groups and periods, explain atomic structure, atomic radius, atomic size, electronegativity, ionization energy, metallic nature. Third one question is, this is very important question, especially in ionization energy. First ionization energy and second ionization energy and the factor affecting of ionization energy. These are the three important questions, long answer questions, especially in classification of elements and periodicity of properties. Now coming to that very short answers questions, the write an SI of S, P, D, F and block elements, and the what is periodic property, what you discussed in earlier, what is ionization energy, electronegativity, electron gain enthalpy and atomic size and atomic radius. And what is first and second ionization potential, and this why this second one is greater than first one, explain four factor influencing of ionization potential. This is a very short answers question. Now we can coming to that our first topic, our first unit is the atomic structure. Atomic structure, you can see the few very short answers questions and it is very important. The first one is what is Gibbon effect? This is very repeated questions. The Gibbon effect is the splitting of spectral line into multiple closely spaced lines when an atom is subjected to the magnetic field. So that is called as a Zeeman effect. When the magnetic field will apply, what happen? The splitting of spectral lines into the multiple and closer to the space of the line. So that is called as the Zeeman effect. And then second one question is, what is Stark effect? So the Stark effect is a splitting as shifting of spectral line. So this is different from the Zeeman effect to Stark effect. The Stark effect is the splitting or shifting of spectral lines, atoms or molecules when the external electric field is applied. So that is the point, very important. So Zeeman effect is the applying the magnetic field. Here is the applying the electric field and shifting and splitting of spectral lines. That is the difference between two effects. Next one, what is the atomic orbital? So simple definition, the atomic orbital is the three-dimensional region around the atom's nucleus where there is an high probability of finding an electrons. So that is called as a atomic orbital. Next you can see the fifth one question, explain the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. This is very important and it is very repeated questions in every exams. The Heisenberg uncertainty principle main concept is, it is the impossible to the simultaneously known as both the exact position and the exact momentum of the velocity of a particles with perfect accuracy. So more precisely you measure one or less precisely you can measure the other. They have this inverse relationship. So this is the fundamental properties of quantum mechanics, not in limitation of our measuring tool. You can see mathematical relationship, you can understood this one, the formula. Now coming to the sixth one question, explain the difference between what is orbit and what is orbital. So orbit is different and orbital is different. So orbit is a fixed two-dimensional circular path. The electrons follow the around the nucleus is simplify the classical models of atom. And what is orbital? It is the three-dimensional region, the space where there is a high probability of finding electrons according to the modern quantum mechanics. You can see here that I wrote here the orbit is KLMN, it can be shows, and orbital means you can S orbital, P orbital, D orbital and F orbital. You can read these more points about the orbit and orbitals and you will understood what is the difference between orbit and orbitals. Then what is the seventh one question? If you see here seventh one question, that is very important. Explain the photoelectric effect. So what is photoelectric effect? The photoelectric effect means the instant light and ejected of photons on the metal surface simply will call as a photoelectric effect. Now, so the one definition you can say here, the photoelectric effect is a phenomenon which the electrons are ejected from the surface of the metal when the light is incident on it. So these ejected electrons are called as the photoelectrons. Okay, that point is very important. And you can read this thoroughly, these all the points, you will understand what is the photo emission, what is the threshold frequencies required, and what is the photoelectrons emissions. You will be understand more about this one. Next one, eighth one question is very important, especially in atomic structure. Explain the difference between emission and absorption spectra. What is the emission spectra and what is the absorption spectra? So emission and absorption spectra both are differ in the emitted and the absorption energy. So resulting usual patterns are color, size and dark lines and continues to the background. So the electron transition involved higher to lower, right, for the emission. For the lower to higher, that is a absorption. So that point is very important. And the emission spectra shows the specific wavelength of light that the substance release, while the absorption spectra shows the specific wavelength at the mode from the continuous spectrum when the substance absorbs them. So I wrote here the very specific point about the what is emission spectra few points and absorption spectra few points. You can go through it and you will understand what is emission spectra and what is absorption spectra differentiation between. Right? You can coming to the next one is the ninth one question is, which part of the electromagnetic spectrum does Balmer series belong. So it is very short answer questions important. The Balmer series of hydrogen spectrum lines are the visible regions of electromagnetic spectrum with wavelength typically ranging from approximately here is 400 nanometer to 780 nanometer. So this is the because the spectral lines in these series are visible to the naked eyes, the ranging from red from the longer wavelength and violet to the shorter wavelength. And you can see the other series also is a Lyman series, the UV region, and this Pachin series is the infrared IR. Bracket series is the infrared region. So this is many times in exam will come in very short answers question. Try to learn, this is very important. And next one question is how many p electrons are present in sulfur atom. So this is very simple question. Especially in sulfur atom, 10 p electrons are present. There is a founding of 2p6 and 2p4. You can see the simple electronic configuration of sulfur. Atomic number is 16 sulfur. The electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2 and 3p4. So the 2p subcell, the electron 6 electron 2p6 and the 3p subcell electrons are 4. So 2p4. So total is the p electrons are here 10. So that is the right answer. It is a very important questions in previous games in exams. And the 11th one question is draw the shape of x square minus y square orbital. What is x square minus y square orbital of 4 labeled shapes resembling of 4 leaf covers? You can draw here. You can see this is the one of the d square and y square structures of orbital. And you can see the step by step how to draw the air guide also it is there. And it x-axis and y-axis how orientation happen in, you can see, understand this. Next one, you can see here 12th question, how many subcells are associated with n is equal to 5? So there are the 5 subcells associated with n is equal to 5. These correspond to the possible values of azimuthal quantum number L, which is the range is from n to n minus 1. So n is equal to 5. So the possible values of L are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the corresponding of subcell S, P, D, F and G respectively. So these are the 5 subcells associated with n is equal to 5. Now coming to that, the 13th question is what is ionization energy? So ionization energy is a very important question. It is come previously exams in long answer question and short answer question. Simple definition is minimum energy is required to remove of mostly loosely bounded electrons from associated with gas atom or ions. You can read it more and you will understand what is ionization energy. Next we will coming to the what is electronegativity. So this is also very important. What is electronegativity? This ability to atom attract to a shared electrons of atoms in the chemical bonding. And you can see that what is attraction, electron attraction, bond type and larger differentiation between of electronegativity. That is very important. Now coming to the 15th one question is electron gain enthalpy. That is also very important. What is electron gain enthalpy? Is very short answer question, is repeated question this one. So electron gain enthalpy is the energy change that occurs when the electrons is added to the neutral gases atoms of the negative ions. So you can read it more and you can see what is atomic size. This is also very important questions. What is atomic size? And next one, atomic radius. What is atomic radius? Very simple definition I given here. And you can see this picture to understand what is atomic radius and distance from the nucleus of electron. And you can see that the decreasing order to decreasing atomic radius from groups and atoms, periodicity. And you can see next one is the write an SI of S, P, D, F block elements. You can see there are the S, P, D, F block elements and you can find out what is S, what is P, and you can see here chart groups are elements in S, P, D, F block element, and here can see the some more points and you can see the S, P, D, F block elements, and you can see here clearly about the what is periodic properties. Here is mentioned here, And I can see few of the very short answers